So hello students, let's discuss another important trick on thermodynamics. Thermodynamics, physical chemistry, yes. Okay, although it's very simple, but sometimes they ask questions and some questions have been asked in IIT exam also. We get confused due to examples. What is the topic? I hope you know about intensive and extensive properties. Very simple topic. Intensive and extensive properties. So, intensive properties and extensive properties. What is the meaning of intensive property? Intensive. Intensive means internal. Internal. Extensive means external. Internal properties, external properties. Okay, for example, if we take our example, our internal properties can be, suppose we are honest, we always speak truth. So these are our internal properties and these cannot be divided. We never say that this guy, it is 50% honest, it has 30% honesty. It speaks only 20% truth. We never say. It means internal properties, they cannot be divided. They cannot be multiplied. Similarly, extensive properties. For example, I have on this blazer. Okay, so we can tell about its price. That is the external property. Suppose if you have 2 bikes, 3 bikes, 10 bikes, that is the external properties. And that depends on number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For example, volume. Okay, if we take a 10 liter milk, and if we divide this 10 liter milk into 2 equal halves, we'll get 5 liter, 5 liter. That can be divided. Means extensive properties can be divided, but intensive properties, for example, temperature. For example, the temperature of this room is 20 degrees Celsius. And if I divide this room into 2 equal halves, so this half cannot have temperature 10 degrees Celsius now. This cannot have 10 degrees Celsius now. Because it cannot be divided. It is an internal property. And same with pressure. Suppose we have 1 atmospheric pressure, and if we divide this room into 4 equal halves, we can't say that one of the halves have 0.25 atmospheric pressure. No. Because it is intensive property. Pressure, temperature, they are intensive properties. Volume, extensive properties. So intensive properties are those which depends on quality of a matter. Which depends on quality of a matter. Which depends on quality of a matter. Of a matter. And what are the extensive properties? Which depends on quantity of a matter. Which depends on quantity of a matter. Of a matter. I hope you know about this one. So, the main problem in learning about their examples, in competitive exam, they won't ask you what do we mean by intensive property. They will ask you a question like this: which among the following is intensive properties? Which among the following is extensive property? And they will give you 4 examples and you have to choose the correct one. How? There are so many examples. If there are only 1 or 2, we can easily remember. But there are so many examples, then how to remember? So can we remember these examples by short trick, super trick? Yeah, today I am going to give you about this one. So before telling the trick, I'll tell you one thing. I have a friend and my friend's name is what? Sandeep Chaudhary. He's lecturer in botany and now he have done his PhD. Now his name is what? Dr. Sandeep Chaudhary. Give some more respect. Dr. Shri Sandeep Chaudhary. Okay, understood? Can you remember the name? Who is my friend? Dr. Shri Sandeep Chaudhary. Imagine Dr. Shri Sandeep Chaudhary have done a very, very good invention which is much beneficial for human being. Now, after knowing this, Dr. Shri Sandeep Chaudhary becomes very famous. Now he is on TV, interviews are going on, very good. So, once upon a time, I see Dr. Shri Sandeep Chaudhary on TV. Suddenly I say, Dr. Shri Sandeep Chaudhary TV par hai in Hindi. Okay, so, Doctor, how we write Doctor? DR in short. Doctor. Shri, SH. We write Shri like SH. Sandeep S. Chaudhary C. T V पर है. Dr. Shri Sandeep Chaudhary TV पर है. Okay, why he's on TV? Because he has done an invention. It is his internal quality, means intensive property. So these are the examples of intensive property. We'll discuss about it. And after he becomes famous, he becomes greedy. He says, give me more, give me more, give me more. Okay, so he says what? Give, G-I-V-E, give me, M-E, me, more. First alphabet of more, M. He becomes greedy. He said, give me more. More means a number. Number means extensive property. These are the examples of extensive properties. Okay, here D stands for what? Density, yeah. Density is an intensive property. R stands for what? Refractive index. R stands for what? Refractive index. SH, specific heat. I hope you know about it. Specific heat. These are very small things, but these are very important things for exam point of view. If you know these small tricks, you can easily solve the question within 5 seconds. Okay, SS stands for what? Specific heat. It is also an intensive property. And here this S stands for what? Surface tension. Surface tension. C stands for what? Concentration. C stands for what? Concentration. T stands for what? Temperature. Temperature. V stands for what? Viscosity. It's not volume. Volume is an extensive property. V stands for what? Viscosity. And here P stands for what? Pressure. These are some of the intensive properties. Understood? D stands for density, R for refractive index, SH for specific heat, then S for surface tension, then C for concentration, T for temperature, V for viscosity, and P for pressure. These are some of the examples of intensive properties. Now let's go to extensive. G stands for what? Gives free energy. Gives free energy. It is an extensive property. I stands for what? Internal energy. Internal energy. V stands for what? Volume. E stands for what? Enthalpy. And we have one more E, and here E stands for what? Entropy. In this chapter, thermodynamics, we'll study these things, these terms in detail. Don't worry. Here M stands for what? M stands for what? Mass. And here this M stands for what? Moles, number of moles. It's like Bond, James Bond. Like moles, number of moles. And these are some of the examples of extensive properties. Suppose now if in exam, because I think 3 or 4 times in IIT exam, these questions are asked. Which among the following is an extensive property? So they will give you 3 examples of intensive, 1 for extensive. Now I hope this is much clear to understand, to learn, to remember about some of the examples of intensive and extensive. One more time. Intensive property, Dr. Shri Sandeep Chaudhary TV par hai, and extensive properties, he said, give me more. And that's all for today. I'll see you in next video. Till then, thank you.